All right, everyone. So I'm going to do just a quick tropical storm or weather update. As you all know, if you follow our tennis channel and all of a sudden you start seeing weather videos pop up, that we have a very good chance that here in Dauphin Island, Alabama, or on the Alabama Gulf Coast, indicated where the blue dot is, that we have the chance for some interesting weather. So if you look to the left or the west side of the map, you'll see that there's a storm brewing off Baja California in the Pacific. We're going to pay more attention to these two storms on the right. One in the southern Caribbean that I don't think we'll have a lot of time to develop into anything, say, catastrophic. Potentially just kind of a run-of-the-mill tropical storm, but it's the storm off to the east that's in the Atlantic still at this point that definitely deserves watching. So you can see it's kind of unprecedented here, kind of on the same line of latitude across this part of the world. You can see storms stacking up. So anyway, let's see if we can jump into some quick models and a couple other things, just so we can get an idea of what's going on. So I'm going to shift over here to spaghettimodels.com. It's a really nice site that really does a good job of putting a bunch of different models and information, so it's easy to kind of study them when these storms head to us. So the first storm here, this is just a projected cone of the weaker of the two storms, at least, and potential of making landfall. So this would be tropical storm. Well, it's not tropical storm yet. It's a depression. It's forming. But this would be the storm that I think we don't have to worry too terribly much about. Here's some of the models here. If you can see these models that show this storm just kind of meanders through the northern Gulf of Mexico, making landfall somewhere around Louisiana or South Texas, maybe even into Mexico. However, the intensity of that storm doesn't look to be anything projected to be too terribly catastrophic. So I'll jump over here, and you'll see that the projected, I don't know if it actually shows it on this one, but the projected of intensity, this is a graph here. So on the left axis, you see this is tropical storm and then up to a category 1 hurricane. So all the models are kind of in unison in that this storm will stay relatively weak, somewhere around, a mid run-of-the-mill type tropical storm. One outlier has it up there as a small category 1 storm. Interesting, though, as we jump over here to the storm that is tropical depression number 13. Now, this type of storm is still way out in the Atlantic. Well, I won't say way out. It's about halfway across. But the cone is relatively narrow as it approaches the tip of Florida and as it begins to move into the Gulf of Mexico. A lot of the models do have this system actually veering off to the north and to the east before it makes landfall, potentially in Florida, or as it passes to the north of Cuba or to the south of, say, the Miami area. So we'll look at a couple of the models here. So these are the latest models for the storm. So all the models are pretty much in unison. Now, again, all these models can change with every update. So 4 hours later, these models could all be shifted to the east or to the west. But we are, again, just to the left of these really kind of gathered together models here. Let's see if I can bring my pen up. Let's see if I can give you some drawing here. Sorry. I just noticed that there was a likelihood or a chance that we could have two tropical storms in the Gulf of Mexico at the same time next week, and I felt like I really needed to do a video. So sorry for this kind of rushed hodgepodge type thing. So this is where, again, the storm is tracking from this direction. We are in the Dauphin Island area on the south of the southern tip of Alabama. So as you know, if these storms begin to really look like they're going to make impacts here, then we'll start the weather videos going. But this is really kind of an unprecedented type setup to have two storms. Let me turn this pin off. To have two storms that are tracking into or around the Gulf of Mexico at one time is quite interesting. So right now, again, the storms don't promise to be anything more than a strong tropical storm on the western side of the Gulf of Mexico, but this storm here looks like, if you look at the intensity models, that some of these models are predicting that this storm could get up to a category 4. So we'll see what happens with this one. Anybody looking at this storm in the, say, southern or northern Gulf of Mexico, southern tip of Florida, east coast of Florida, or even all the way up to, say, the Hatteras area. You never know with these things. They can turn, they can move, but this far out, it looks like the models are indicating a push into the Gulf of Mexico. So we'll see what happens. Stay tuned, and as these storms approach, if they come near this neck of the woods, you know where I'll be. All right, take care. Much love. Peace out. Let's go. Hopefully we get some weather. Obviously, we don't want injuries, people hurt, so forth, but get down on the weather. Love it. Let's go. Come on. And we'll see you soon if there's a storm. All right, take care.